not even mean Bowers game for me.
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. And today we're excited to check out Don't Go to Jail, the Monopoly dice game from Parker Brothers. This is ages 8+. For 2 or more players, it'll take about, 15, 25 minutes to play, somewhere in that range. And in Don't Go to Jail, you are going to be doing a press your luck dice game. We're going to have 10 dice. You're going to be rolling those dice, trying to get the different sets and put them on this board right here in order to score points. But the catch is, if you ever get the dice that say go to and jail on them, you will lose all your points for that turn and your turn will be over. It's a very simple, light dice game based in the Monopoly universe, oddly enough, but is it good? Let's open it up and I'll tell you what I think. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Don't Go to Jail. So first and foremost, we have our handy dandy rule sheet. It is really just one page right here. This is Spanish, so you're only going to need the one page, double-sided, no pictures, no illustrations, but it should have you up and running in no time at all. It's a very simple game. The only thing I don't like about the rules is the fact it doesn't actually tell you how many points to go to. And oddly enough, it says, if you're playing a 4-player game, we suggest going to 15,000 points. But it doesn't suggest how much you should go to in a 2-player game, or a 3-player game, or a 5-player game, or a 6-player game, or any other player count, just 4 players. We always just go to 15,000 when we play, and I think that's a good number too. But anywho, in Don't Go to Jail, this is a press your luck dice game in which you are going to be rolling dice out of this cool little cup, which yeah, you'll notice is just a Play-Doh cup, but this is actually what came packaged with the game, and the dice are going to look like this. They're going to have different die faces on it that will have different numbers on it and the different colors. You can ignore the numbers on there. I believe those are just for colorblind people. You don't actually score that many points. I think it's just for colorblind folks who might have trouble discerning the colors. But the 3 dice that you want to avoid are going to be these dice, which for the most part are going to have 4 blank sides, but they're going to have 2 sides each that will have go, to, and jail on them. And if you ever roll go to jail, then you immediately end your turn and you get no points. So what you're trying to do is score points without going to jail. But I think it's just easier if I show you how the game is played, to be honest with you. So on your turn, what are you going to do? You're going to put all the dice into the cup, if you want to. You're going to roll them up, and then you're going to first look to see if you have go, to, or jail. So we have jail. We're going to place it up there. It is immediately locked in place. There's nothing we can do about that. But let's take a look at the other dice we have. So we have 2 reds. We have, Electric Company and Waterworks. We have 1 green. We got 1 purple and 1 train. So I don't want to go for trains. I hate the trains. I think the trains are fool's gold. So I'm just going to set that to the side. I'm probably going to re-roll that. We could keep Electric Company and Waterworks. That's 8 points. We got it. You know what? We'll keep it. We're going to put it right there. Boom. We are now have 8 points unless we bust. And then I'm also going to keep these 2 reds right here. So I'm hoping to get another red. Another red. Now, also on 2 of the dice, they're going to be wilds. And I think I used the other one. So wild is whatever you want it to be. Pretty self-explanatory stuff. Now, the other thing is, once you put dice into place, they cannot be moved. So I might change my mind later and be like, man, I want to do red. Well, it's too bad. Once you put down red, red are there, or blue are there, or whatever color you are. So now at this point, I decide, do I want to keep going, pressing my luck, hoping that I won't go to jail, or do I want to stop and just take my 8 points? Because right now, if I stopped, I would only get 8 points because the red is not completed. But I'm going to keep going, and let's see what I get. Wow, super duper lucky. I got the red. I didn't get don't go. And now I, once again, can either stop and take my 3,000 points, but we're just going to call it 30 points. We go to 150 because these extra zeros are just stupid. Or I can keep rolling. So I'll take a look at these dice and see what we got on them. There are 2 blues and there are 2 purples. So you know what? I'm kind of a dangerous guy. I'm going to press my luck here, see if I can get 2 blues or 2 purples. I got to go. So at this point, I would stop. Without a doubt, I would stop, and I would fill it in this little sheet right here. I'd put, boom, 30, and then the next person would go once again. They'd roll up the dice, and they got 2 jail, which is kind of unfortunate for them. And they would once again rinse, wash, and repeat. You're going to do this until someone gets to the number of points you decide to go to. They recommend 150 if you're playing with 4 players. I also can confirm I enjoy that number as well. Once someone reaches that magical number, though, you're going to make sure that everyone has had the same number of turns, and whoever has the most points after that, everyone's had the same number of turns, will be the winner of Don't Go to Jail. And that, in a nutshell, is how you're going to play the game. Alrighty then, don't go to jail, the Monopoly dice game, and a sound piece of advice from Parker Brothers. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side. I don't have too many cons here, to be brutally honest with you. It's a very simple, light, press your luck game. And if you're not in the market for a press your luck game, this is not going to be for you. If you don't like press your luck, this is not going to change your mind because there is nothing else going on in this game. There's no extra mechanisms, no bells, no whistles. Just roll your dice. Do you want to keep going? Do you want to stop? That's all you get in this game, which will be a turnoff to some people. Press your luck games have evolved somewhat since then, and this game does feel dated. Now, that being said, this is also aimed at the children and family weight crowd. So, if you're not in the market for a children or family weight game, this one might not be for you. That being said, if you do have a lighter game group that enjoys press your luck games, I think this would be a cool little nostalgic trip down memory road, because I played this with my game group and they enjoyed it. They're like, yeah, that's way better than I thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to be garbage, and it turned to be a super simple, brainless press your luck game. And if you don't mind that, then this might be one for you, but if you do, it's not going to be for you. Rules-wise, this is more of a nitpick than anything, but it just annoys the living crap out of me that they can't put what number you should be going to based on what player count you are playing. The fact that they suggest a number for 4 players and for no other player counts just irks me even more. It just feels lazy. That being said, I felt like 150 was a good number for just about any player count. I mean, maybe if you're playing like 10 or 20 players or something like that, you might want to go lower. But yeah, I really don't have too many holes to poke in this game, to be brutally honest with you. It's so simple. Last con is that the box is too big. I mean, this is a big honking box for what you're getting. You're getting 10 dice, you're getting a board, but really this board, I wish it was a quad fold board. This box should be about this big. That's how big it should be, but instead it's this big, so it is going to take up a good deal of shelf space. But other than that, I really don't have too many cons. Moving on to the pros, don't go to jail. The Monopoly dice game went over like gangbusters in my classroom. The kids loved this game. From ages 5 to 11, I played it with kids in all those ages, and they all really stinking enjoyed the game. And there's a lot to like about this game. It's easy to learn. It's easy to teach. Press your luck is just naturally a fun mechanism, in my personal opinion. And there's not much to think about here. It's just, do I want to go for it? Do I not want to go for it? Oh, I'm not sure. And it's fun to roll the dice up and then slam the dice cup down when you have like 2 or 3 dice in there and just like, not what I wanted. Then put it back in and slam it down again and slam it down again. I enjoyed that aspect of the game. I enjoyed that little aspect of the game. That I'm glad they included a dice cup, as odd as that is. Scoring simple. Wilds are simple. Just a very simple game. And in the end, don't go to jail, the Monopoly dice game. It went over well with the adults I played it with the kids I played it with, and with me. And so it will be going into my collection. It's going to be going directly into my classroom where I can play with the kids because they absolutely loved it. And I also think if I didn't have a classroom, I would still keep it because my son really enjoyed it as well. So if you can find this one at a thrift shop or cheap or something like that, and you like push your luck games, I recommend Don't Go to Jail, the Monopoly dice game. And I actually think this is probably either my favorite or second favorite Monopoly game that I've ever played, because this and the Monopoly card game, I think it's called, that I really did enjoy. I thought they were good to very good games, and I think this is a good to very good press your luck game. It is dated, the box is too big, but if you can get past that, pure press your luck with a Monopoly theme, that's good. Oh, and that's the last comment I have of this game. The theme doesn't come across that well at all, to be brutally honest with you. You could have themed this into just about anything you wanted, but still, it's hard to get a theme across in a press your luck game. So there you go. Don't go to jail, the Monopoly dice game. One I can recommend if you can hunt it down. If you enjoyed this review, please sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know. What is the last thing that you did that technically could get you sent to jail? For me personally, probably public urination. I mean, I feel like that's a good bet. Or littering. You know, but that doesn't send you to jail. Yeah, so probably public urination. Because, yeah, you litter all the time. You don't even realize it. You pull stuff out of your pockets and a piece of paper flies out or something like that. So what was the last ticky-tack thing that you did that would get you in trouble with the law? For me personally, it was probably public urination a couple days ago. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.